So I started volunteering with Welcome Home about a year and a half ago, and just from day one, I felt like as much as we were pouring out as volunteers, encouraging those we met with, it was really us that were leaving every bit as encouraged from the people that we were meeting with. And so basically we see people that have been humbled by circumstances, and then some of them are humble in heart, where they use their circumstances not as an excuse, but as a driving force to be dependent on God, to know Him more, to seek Him more, pursue Him more, and then just through that relationship, their circumstances do not dictate their contentment or happiness. In Philippians 4:12 it says, "Whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in need or in want, I can do all things through Him who gives me strength." And so it's not that we can just do anything, but that we can endure anything. And so I've seen just so many of our participants just live in their conditions, in shelter, just have a peace that many people in mansions would just be envious of. And so I think that's been really rewarding for me to see that Jesus is enough. It's not Jesus plus a house, Jesus plus a job, but Jesus Himself is enough to have comfort in this broken, fallen world. So TJ, we started just meeting with him about a year and a half ago. He was coming to our group lunches and as well as on Sunday. And so basically, there's been a lot of people that have came and went, on to better steps, or maybe that we haven't seen again. But for TJ, he's just been someone special who just from day one, who has been just eager to ask questions, eager to find out more about Jesus. And so he grew up basically understanding that he had to work his way up to God, that God was distant, and that it was through his good works that he received salvation. And so for a while he tried living up to that impossible standard, but eventually it crushed him. And so rather than trying to keep trying, he went the complete opposite route, and he decided just to go things his own way, make himself his own master. And he just left a wake of destruction in his path, where he was isolated, where he was lonely, where he ruined just a lot of relationships just along the way. And basically it brought him to a place that was really humbling, where he ended up under a bridge some nights. He ended up living in a shelter now for months and months. But in that humbling, his heart was also humbled. And so he started to learn the truth about a God that loves him so much that He sent His Son to pursue TJ through His death on the cross, to comfort him in his time of need. And basically I've just seen there's so much hope and peace come from TJ just growing in his relationship with God, and just learning that it's not about what he can do, but what Jesus has already done. TJ's journey has just been incredible. I mean, it's just been wonderful to see him just with a sincere desire to take steps forward in his faith. So now he's an official member of our church. He serves each month with one of our serving teams here. He is a part of our 12-step Christian recovery program each week. And so his faithfulness just really compelled us to dive deeper, to create a program just for people just like him, to disciple him, to teach him, help him just understand the foundations of the Bible more. And so we've created a 3-month program called PREP, and TJ's been the first to complete it. And so now we get to point to him as the example, just to imitate him as he imitates Christ in just pursuing greater understanding, greater just knowledge of Lord that loves him, and just applying the truth to his life and living in the freedom that Christ purchased for him. And so although TJ, he's still living in a shelter, he has a hope in an eternal home with his Savior that no one, and nothing can take away from him. And so, it's just been wonderful to see, the peace that he has, even in his trials, even, just in the situation and circumstances of everyday life in a shelter, compared to what he used to have. He has a peace now that he never had before, and it's all because of